lovely viewers, you are most welcome to our channel Poetry Online. In this lesson, we shall be discussing The Schoolboy by William Blake. Kindly subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get updates on all our new videos. Once again, let us assure you of a very interesting discussion. Get ready for this lesson. The Schoolboy is a poem written by William Blake. The poem is considered to be a romantic poem because it paints a perfect picture of the beauty of nature. The poem is told from the perspective of a schoolboy who believes school is negatively impacting on him due to the rules and regulations in the school environment. The poem begins with, "I love to rise in the summer morn, when the birds sing on every tree, the distant huntsman win his horn, and the skylark sings with me. Oh, what sweet company." Here, our poetic speaker talks about his ideal morning and the blissful state he finds himself just by being surrounded by the beauty of nature. The schoolboy projects the emotions and beliefs common to the romantic poets. He waking up to all the beauty of nature, singing of birds, and the horn of the distant huntsman makes him excited to an extent that he exclaims, "Oh, what sweet company." However, does this joy last forever, or will its joy last forever? This happy tone that has begun the poem, will it continue to the end of the poem? Let's find out. But to go to school on a summer morn, oh, it drives all joy away. Under the cruel eye outworn, the little ones spend the day in sighing and dismay. Here, the mere thought of going to school alone on a beautiful summer morning drives all joy away, because the schoolboy, or our poetic persona, is forced to leave the beauty of nature, which he describes as sweet company, to sit in a classroom. He went on to tell us about the cruel eye of the teacher, or the watchful eye of his teacher, and the restrictions that comes with it. Then at times I droop and sit, and spend many an anxious hour, nor in my books can I take delight, nor sit in learning bowers, worn through with the dreary showers. Here again, our poetic persona goes on to tell us the torment he has to bear in the classroom. The schoolboy takes no pleasure in schoolwork and is anxiously waiting for the day to end. Moreover, the schoolboy tells us that he is not against formal education, or he is not against school, but the structures of the school is what he can't stand. He would have loved if education was in a natural environment or in the natural setting and not the classroom. How can a bird, which is born for joy, sit in a cage and sing? How can a child, when fear annoys, but droop his tender wings and forget his youthful spring? Here, the boring nature of some subjects and abstract things taught in the classroom makes the schoolboy draws a powerful imagery to describe his miserable day at school and how he feels trapped in the school setting, just like a bird in a cage. He appeals to the senses of his audience and readers. How can a bird, which is born for joy, sit in a cage and sing? This powerful rhetorical question tells us that there are more potentials of the growing child which can be unleashed in the natural environment. However, his or her potentials cannot be unleashed to the fullest in such a cruel environment, full of restrictions rules, and regulations. These restrictions, according to the Schoolboy, is seen as a stumbling block on the potentials of young children. Therefore, the natural environment is seen as an ideal for unleashing the potentials of growing children. Also, children are by nature known for their playful ways. If they are to be taken from the natural environment and sent to the school, what is going to be the consequence of such actions? Well, the following lines reveals it all. O father and mother, if buds are nipped and blossom blown away, and if the tender plants are stripped of their joy in the springing day, by sorrow and care dismayed. This particular line addresses the parents who are forcing their choices on their children. Our poetic persona uses elements of nature to describe how disastrous this can be. He appeals to the senses of his parents and readers to reason with him and see things from his own perspective. He tells them that if this continues, his buds, which are going to be nipped from him, he went on to ask a series of rhetorical questions. How shall the summer arise in joy, or the summer fruits appear? Or how shall we gather what grief destroy, or bless the mellowing year, when the blast of winter appears? Here, our poetic speaker continues to appeal to the senses of his parents and readers to reason with him and think from his own perspective. He tells us that buds are important to growing plants or flowers. Therefore, if these buds are nipped and blossom blown away, then his parents shouldn't expect any fruitful adulthood from him. We all know that buds grow into flowers, so if these buds are nipped due to the restrictions, due to the rules, and due to the regulations set in the classroom or the school, how can his potentials be unleashed? Or how can he grow into a happy adult when his childhood was boring? And in the long run, he will not be able to last through the real trials of life. So far, we have said that the poem is a lamentation of a young boy who is not happy with the restrictions imposed on him by parents and societal norms and regulations. Throughout the poem, we find the schoolboy lamenting that the classroom education offers no joy and the hostile school environment is nothing to write home about. Let's try the following questions. What drives the joy of the schoolboy away? We are made to understand that our poetic speaker is a schoolboy who is happy when he wakes up to see the blissful summer morning and the melodious sound coming from the horn of the hunter. However, this joy and excitement is immediately replaced by sadness when the schoolboy remembers he has to go to school. The thought of going to school alone takes away his joy. He didn't stop there. He went on to tell us that the watchful eye of the teachers in the school and his displeasure of the classroom setting, which is tantamount to mental slavery and oppression. 2. Discuss the poetic techniques employed by William Blake in his poem. Some of the major poetic devices employed in this poem are: 1. Rhetorical question. A rhetorical question is a question which does not demand an answer. Examples include: how can a bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? How shall the summer arise in joy, or the summer fruits appear? These rhetorical questions helps to bring out the sorrow in the schoolboy and also appeal to the senses of his parents and audience to reason with him. 2. Alliteration. This is a figure of speech which involves a repetition of the same sound at the beginning of the word. Examples include, "And the skylark sings with me." Here, there is a repetition of S sound. "But to go to school in a summer morn." Here again, there is a repetition of S sound. "The distant huntsman win his horn." Here, there is a repetition of H sound. "How can we gather what grief destroy?" Here, there is a repetition of W and G sound. 3. Apostrophe. This is a figure of speech which addresses someone who is absent as if the person was present. "Oh, father and mother, if birds are nipped." In this line, our poetic speaker addresses his parents as if they are present. 4. Metaphor. This is a figure of speech which makes an indirect comparison between two dissimilar items to bring out symbolism. Examples include the following. "Learning bowers" is a metaphor for the classroom. "The bird" in line 15 is a metaphorical reference to the schoolboy. 5. Personification. A figure of speech which gives human qualities to inanimate objects. "When the birds sing on every tree." "And the skylark sings with me." Here, a bird is given human attributes of singing. "Under the cruel eye outworn." Here, an eye is given human attributes of cruelty. "And if the tender plants are stripped of their joy in the springing days." Here, plants are given the ability to feel emotions of joy. Let's move on to our next question. Write short notes on the major themes of the poem. The major themes of the poem include the following. 1. The beauty of nature. The poet expresses his love and adoration for the elements of nature by using them to describe the lamentation of the schoolboy. He describes how he loves to wake up to see the beauty of summer and the melodious sound from the distant huntsman, which he describes as sweet company. 2. The longing for freedom. One of the dominant themes of the poem is the boy's resentment of the restrictions placed on him by formal education. Throughout the poem, we are confronted by the schoolboy's lamentation and his longing for freedom. How can a bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? These lines clearly tells it all. 3. Self-determination. The poet uses his poem to appeal to the senses of parents to give their children the opportunity to choose or determine their destinies and not to restrict them with hosts of rules and regulations. Oh, father and mother, if birds are nipped and blossom blown away. These lines tells it all. 4. The theme of sorrow. Apart from the first stanza of the poem, all the other lines in the poem are that of sorrow and imprisonment. The impression created here is that the schoolboy has been restricted from the fountains of joy, happiness, and love that is provided by nature. With the use of series of rhetorical questions, the audience have no other option than to reason with the schoolboy and see things from his point of view. 5. Loss of childhood innocence. 6. Formal education curtails a person's potentials. Just as the cage bird can't sing in a cage, the same way a student can't sit in a four-walled classroom full of restrictions and rules and regulations and still bring out the best in him. Therefore, formal education should be done in the natural setting, devoid of restrictions, rules, and regulations,